How you going?
How you going?
Good. And those outriggers you got on that, are they, you're saying that that's a dugout, yeah?
Yeah, so it's a dugout canoe. I started building a year ago. Spent a year full time on it.
Yeah.
I'll just stop it here, hang on. So it was 5 metres long. It was a 5 metre 4-tonne Norfolk pine log. And basically turned it into a dugout canoe. Put outriggers on it. All the other stuff you can see on here.
And that bit you've got on the bow there, you were getting a bit of sea over the front, were you, before that?
Yeah, so the first sea trial I did on the open ocean, I wasn't getting anything over the front.
Yeah.
But I could just see from the drone footage that it was a little bit low in the water. And so this expedition I'm doing is from south of Townsville to Cape York, 1,500 kilometres up the Barrier Reef. And so you get these predominantly 20-25 knot southeasterly trades.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be ploughing down wind most of the time, just stuffing into the back of the wave in front.
Burying the nose in.
Yeah, so that's I can just see that I was going to get water over the nose. So I've got that. I've got a drogue chute on the back.
Yeah.
And that's why it's built up. So it's added weight. There's a fair bit of weight in it, but you know.
That's hardwood you've put on the front there, yeah?
It's not. That's just pine, actually.
Oh yeah.
So this, so what I'm doing is basing my situation on a shipwreck survivor from 1846.
Yeah.
Ashore just south of Townsville, and he lived with Aboriginal people for 17 years. I'm just going to move forward a bit.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't copy what this guy did. I just put myself in the position of past survivalists and see if I can get out myself. So I'm going to try and sail us to this shipwreck haven that Governor Bligh set up on the tip of Cape York in 1822.
Yeah.
Which he would have known about because he was a full-time sailor and he was a carpenter as well. So he actually built a raft from his ship to get from the shipwreck outside the Barrier Reef onto shore. So his raft was made up from the mizzen mast and had a big sail and stuff that they scavenged off their ship beforehand. So he had ropes, and he actually made a list of what he had in his book that he wrote about it. So that's how I know where to start.
How many sea hours have you had on that so far?
Not much. This is probably the 4th time it's floated. It's only really had one full up sea trial on the open ocean.
Yeah.
And it went pretty good. It just doesn't sail upwind enough like most cats. I did trial a lee board, but I just found it didn't really work. I've actually made some different ones now, which I'm going to try if we get some more wind this afternoon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And your name's?
Yeah, my name's Mike. You can see what I'm doing. Just look at Outback Mike.
Outback Mike.
Yeah, so just Google that. You'll see my website, my YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram.
And you were saying you were a jet pilot?
I started out flying choppers in the army, and then I flew jets here at the base at Williamtown.
So the FA-18s?
I flew mostly the Hawk.
Oh yeah.
And then I flew the Wedgetail, which was like a big AWACS type thing.
I just did a job with a guy and he was a F-111 pilot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Same thing, I think you can't get enough adventure after doing something like that.
Yeah, yeah, well it's funny, most pilots don't really appreciate the beauty of what they're flying over. So I'd find myself flying choppers with guys, and we'd be flying over the most amazing terrain, and they weren't really that interested.
Yeah.
Which is just criminal to me.
Hang on a second. You right?
Yeah, I can stop it.
Don't worry about the side of the boat too much. And there's no coating on those logs. It's just.
No. When I finish this expedition, I'll coat it in something to preserve it.
Yeah.
Because this shipwreck survivor wouldn't have had access to any coating materials.
Right.
Other than beeswax. So he had when he lived with Aboriginal people, he had lots of native beeswax. So I've used native beeswax to seal up leaks where the knots are in the wood. Basically, anytime I need glue, I've used native beeswax, and it's worked really good. So there must be 20 different big knots because Norfolk pine's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Wood, and so last night, after spending probably 14 hours in the water, I only had 1 litre of leakage into the boat, which is good.
It'll swell up a bit as well, won't it?
Exactly. I think that was in the first hour.
Yeah.
And it's already slowed right down. So,
and the spars, those crossbars you got, they're not bamboo.
No, they're Casuarina.
Casuarina.
Another Australian name.
Yeah.
And that's the hardwood that Aboriginal people used to use for tools and stuff, and I've made woomeras out of them, so I got lots in the backyard, so that's why I've used, anytime I need a hardwood, I've used Casuarina.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very nice. And how many miles you got, you reckon you're going to do?
1,500 Ks, so pretty much 1,000 nautical miles.
And how many miles a day you planning on?
Hard to know. I reckon if I can average 3 knots, I'd be happy.
Oh, you know? That's all right.
You know, I'll probably get 5 knots sometimes, but then other times I'll be getting 1.5.
Yeah, well, you get the trades.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just whether the trades are too strong. So that first week, the first time I experienced strong, you know, that chop at 25 knots, 2.5 meters, if I can handle that, the whole thing will happen pretty quick. If I can't, then I'm gonna have to wait for half the time for decent weather.
How much water you got?
I've got 20 litres in a water barrel like he had.
Yeah.
And I'm still figuring out how to waterproof the other water because I want to take about 70 litres.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it in the dry season. I'm pretty confident I can get water as I go, even in the dry season, but it's nice to have at least 70 litres.
Yeah. But you're going to take water off taps, or you're going to get your own, you're going to do it the way they did it?
Yeah, all bush water. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
all the food, it's all bush tucker. So I'm taking bush tucker that I've collected myself, native honey, native ginger, coconuts, and I'll get just water. I'm not getting taps or any support from anybody along the way, other than Aboriginal people, because this guy assimilated with Aboriginal people, and I spent a lot of time with Aboriginal people doing different survival adventures and as an instructor in survival, as well as being a pilot in the military. So I'm already organised to meet up with a bunch of Aboriginal people and learn from them and hear their stories of different stuff. So yeah, if I get food with them, bush tucker food that is, then I'll eat it with them. But otherwise, everything's bush tucker.
And when are you taking off?
I'm hoping within a few weeks I'll be driving north. So probably really start of July will be actually when I'm sailing, if the weather's good then. So,
yeah, good time.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, if it takes 3 months, I don't want to be sailing in October, because once a decade you get northerlies coming down the Cape in October, and obviously then I'm stuck in my tracks if that happens.
Yeah, no worries. Well, good luck with that, mate.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later.
Okay, see ya.